This is section 732. We're going to be solving rational inequalities. So we're going to solve rational inequalities. Now remember, a rational inequality, it's just like any other inequality. We have a number line, we test true and false. We need to see where it's going to be. The only thing is now we have to pay attention to our domain restrictions. And remember, domain restrictions are open circle. So because of the inequality, my zeros are going to be open circle, right? Because it doesn't say equal to. Whatever's in the denominator, because it's a domain exclusion, are automatically open circle. So we need to find my zeros, and we need to find my restrictions. Now, we need to combine it into one rational expression. It's already one rational expression. Don't need to worry about that. But once it's one rational expression, we find the zeros and those domain restrictions. So the zeros, you set the top equal to 0. So x equals 0. So there it is. Bam, there's my 0. The domain restrictions, you set the bottom equal to 0. Now sometimes you can factor it, like this factors into x plus 1 and x minus 1. So x equals -1 and +1. So then we take that and we put it all in a number line. So my 0 is open circle because it doesn't say equal to. My -1 and +1, I'm going to have to do open circle because those are my domain restrictions. And so now we go through and test true or false. So plug in -2. Is that going to be less than 0? Now remember, we could also do positive or negative. We can do our sign chart. So remember, numbers that are less than 0, these are negative numbers. So if I did -2 over, that's going to be a positive, so 4 minus 1, so that's -2 over, so that's a negative over a positive, that's negative. If I did -1/2, that's going to be a -1/2 over -1/2 minus 1, that's going to be a negative, so negative over a negative is a positive. If I did positive 0.5, that's going to be a positive over a negative, so that's going to be a negative. And then if I did 2, that's going to be a positive over a positive, so that's positive. So numbers that are less than 0 are negative, so these are my solutions. Now you would also get true, false, just letting you know, that's what it would be if you just plugged it in to get true or false. And so my answer would be -infinity to -1 union from 0 to 1. Next one. So I need to find my zeros. So I can set the top equal to 0. So that factors into x plus 2 and x plus 3. So my zeros are going to be -2 and -3. And then my domain restrictions. This is very similar to the previous problem. So x is -1 and +1. Now because this is closed circle, I know that, or equal to, I know it's going to be closed circle. And remember, any domain restriction is always going to be open circle. So we put all those numbers on a number line. So I have -3, -2, -1, and +1. Closed circle, open circle, open circle. And now you go through and you test true or false. And so I like doing the whole factor thing to see the plus or minus. So this is just the function completely factored. So if I wanted to plug in -4, you're going to get a negative, a negative, a negative, and a negative. So that's 4 negatives, so this is going to be a positive. This is -2.5. So if I plug that in, you're going to get a negative, you're going to get a positive, you're going to get a negative and a negative. So that's going to be negative. And then for here, so that's -1.5. So -1.5, you're going to get a positive, and then that's negative and that's negative. So that's going to be a positive. And then here I can pick 0. So I get a positive, and a negative. So that's going to be negative. And then if I plug in 2, positive, 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 that's going to end up being a positive. Why am I saying positive? Even like, wait, what? 2 plus 2 is 4. That's positive. 2 plus 3 is 5. That's positive. 2 plus 1 is 3. That's positive. 2 minus 1 is 1. That's positive. So you just count out all the positives because you're multiplying them. So this is greater than 0. Numbers that are greater than 0 are positive numbers. So that's my answer. That's my answer. That's my answer. So I would get negative infinity to 3, negative 3, union from negative 2 to 1, union from 1 to infinity.